Have tried to create an AI agent here. Okay, or at least know some tools or some platforms to create. Okay, so the interest is high. Yeah, Sunday Pichar, the CEO of Google, said last Wednesday in an interview of The Verge that 2025 will be the year of agents, AI agents. And I think so. I think that this will be the starting year, the starting point where the word AI agent will not be anymore a bad word or something like more theoretically we have been talking about for the last months, but something that will add value to the companies because a lot of technologies are emerging, a lot of tools are creating every day to people with code, semi-code, no code can do in the market. So during the next few minutes, I will talk about two projects I work in about AI agents and how I develop them, how do they work under the hood. So hopefully you will get out from this talk with some tools, some documents. I'm always free to know about your experience too. So after this talk, we'll talk about something I'm missing out for sure. So let's dive in. Who am I? My name is Dani. I come from sunny Barcelona. I'm a software engineer too. I started computer science in Barcelona, but then I'm also getting interested into design, product management, UI, UX, a lot of stuff. But 10 years ago, when I ended the university, the degree, two friends and I, we started a new project about travel. Okay, so we started a travel agency in Spain, but it's a special one. Why? Because we are the first one who doesn't tell you where are you going to until 2 days before. So how is it going? You enter into waynabox.com, that's the name. You fill up your data. When do you want to depart? Where are you departing from? And that's it. You pay 150 euros always. And 2 days before, 2 days, well, you can see the destinations that you can go. You can remove one of them for free. Then you can remove a few of them. If you don't want to go to Brussels, you can remove it, so you will not be going to there. But 2 days before, you will get this email saying, okay, take your luggage, you are going to Brussels. Okay, which it's cool because it's a new way to explore Europe. In this case, it's cheap. It includes round trips for flights and 2 nights of accommodation. So it's always 150 euros. So it's very cool for people who doesn't get who doesn't want to decide, or a big group of friends or celebrations, this kind of stuff. So we started this 10 years ago, as I was saying. I was the CTO. I was in charge of all the technology. We are like 30 people now in the company. We sold this company a few months ago, so now I have more free time. So we learned a lot of stuff. On these 10 years, I could speak about a lot of stuff, marketing, how to do things and how to test them fast. But one of the most important things that we learned is that all the satisfaction the client gets come from the expectations minus the reality. And it also happens to you when you go to a restaurant, you get a menu, and then for free they give you a free shot, and then they offer you something else. So at the end of the day, you say, oh, I was not expecting this, so my satisfaction is higher. This is a good principle of any business. So if you give more than the people expects, the satisfaction will be higher. So sorry about this. Like I'm gonna turn it off. My partner is always trying to get some job done. Let's see. Sorry about that. So how do we in Waynabox put more reality in the expectation of the client? Well, one thing that we were thinking about is giving for free a guide of the city when you get the destination, right? Because you have 2 days to plan your trip. So it's a good thing to get a PDF about explaining like the cool things about stuff, the place where to have dinner, what are the typical things from that city. It's okay. It's a good thing to have, but it's still not the best solution. Why? Because we have like tons of destinations. Okay, we sell the packages in 4 languages. What does it mean? We have to manually create all of them for each city in all the languages. It's quite of time consuming, and you have to hire someone to do it actually. So we were thinking about creating something with AI to give a better approach for this idea. So what are we thinking about? Okay, let's try to create a personalized guide for the city 3 days before, um, and you get a lot of specific items, like you know the weather will be, you know where the hotel is, so you can get better directions to the hotel from the airport. You can know what to do based on the age of the people. So you have a lot of opportunities to give more value to the customer. So we tried to develop this 1 year ago, actually, yeah, less than 1 year ago, and we created our AI crew agent. Okay, so there is this main itinerary director who manages all the agents, and we have 4 different agents. Each one will think about one specific problem about the trip, problem or challenge. Let's see all of them. The commute specialist will check where is your hotel, at which time do you arrive at the airport. We'll find on Google Maps API which is the best route, how much it costs, what are the options. So that's one specific problem that he solves, and then how to manage to commute in the city. Then the activity manager will check in Aviator, who we have partnered with. Aviator, I don't know if you know, it's like Civitatis, a lot of companies that do almost the same, which is you put the dates where you've been in the city and you get a lot of activities. So it will become a new revenue stream model from them, because for each client that does buy something through this link, we will get a commission. So also will be an improvement for our revenue. And also have the access to the weather to know what to do. So this is another agent. We have then the translator for translate, obviously, all the guide to the person's native language. We use DeepL API. Then we use a kind of PR expert, which transforms all the itinerary to a WhatsApp message-like output. And then the director, which also have access to the internet via Brave to know, I don't know, the typical things from the city, curiosities, different stuff from the city, like, okay, if you go to Brussels, take into account, then the plug in the wall will be, you need an adapter. So he knows a lot of things, and he, like, let's say, put everything together from the other agents. All of this we have made using Creo AI. Creo AI is like a code platform to create. It's quite new. I don't know how many years. I think it's 1 year or something like that. We came into the market. We host. How it works? You host a rep on GitHub. You connect it with your Creo AI account, and he creates a few endpoints. Okay. Then what we do in Waynabox 3 days before. 3 days before of the departure date, we call via a scheduler that endpoint. That means Creo AI starts out of jobs for every itinerary, and then he calls an API callback URL. We connect that API callback to make.com, and he triggers like a message to Respond AI, IO, which is a platform to communicate with our clients, and he's connected. It's connected with WhatsApp. So it ends up, I'm going to show you actually how does it look in the real life. This is a screenshot because I didn't know if we have internet. This is like simulations of different jobs. Let's say, for example, this one. You put this information, for example, ages, name, where are they departing, if the name of the hotel, the flight data, a lot of stuff that you want to do. Then you can see here what does every agent did. And then at the end, you have here the message, the final output, that then is sent to the WhatsApp. Obviously, it's not really final formatted, because then in make.com, we finally split it. We make some adjustments, but you can see here, I'm going to try to translate into English. But you can see, okay, in 3 days you are departing. This is your hotel information. That's the weather like will be during your vacations. Also, it gives to you a day-by-day itinerary if you want. So where to lunch. As I said before, you can do some activities, and you will have here some URLs from Viator. So if you book through them, we get some money. Yeah, a lot of stuff that maybe can be interesting to have. We have to think that we have like in peak season, which is usually July, August, we have thousands of people traveling. So we need to do something at scale. And at least for now, CreoAI, it's handling good. I don't know the infrastructure behind, but I assume that it's kind of Google Cloud or something with auto-replication, because it works. And the result is like people put good reviews for us, mentioning the guide. So that's cool. And also we are getting a new revenue stream model via the Viator API. So at the end, good for us, good for the client, so everybody wins. And we did it throughout AI agents in production. So this is maybe a good idea for also maybe inspire other people. And the thing is that instead of doing which with a lot of companies does right now, which is putting made with an AI, we jump into an AI, putting some shit features using AI, and then you say, why do you need to put AI into a Node application? Okay, I don't know. We, instead of that, we don't say anything to the client, but at the end, we try to manage to add value using the internal tools. So that's a good point. There is another platform called Relevance AI, which is less code. You don't need to host your code or connect with anything. You just simply try to prompt what do you need, and they create for you the agents, also the tools. So it has evolution very good in the last months. We started using CreoAI because Relevance AI didn't have all of these features that has now. So maybe if I should start again to create the Creo from scratch, maybe I will take into consideration this platform, because this guys has introduced a lot of good features during the last months. So maybe it's interesting to take a look. And now I'm gonna talk about another project that I don't know if I have internet. Another project that I'm trying to do now that I have more free time, which is called Clara. And we are talking about conversational agents now, because since now, all that we have been seeing, it's like a Creo of agents, but it's not interacting with the user. Now, Clara, what is Clara? Clara is an AI assistant for your styling, okay? So what happens? A lot of people, I'm including myself into this group, which is a group of people who doesn't know how to fit well. Just take the first thing you have clean and you put it on. So maybe we can improve this within AI. One partner and I, we thought about building some personal assistant through an agent. So this agent can be a RAG, like can have all the knowledge that a lot of studies about color theory, what does fit better for you, depends on the shape of your body. So all of this stuff, put it into an assistant or maybe into an app, and try to add more value, more features to see if this works. Now we are trying to build an MVP for this project. As we discussed before, marketing is everything here. So you can have the best product, but if you don't put it in the market into the right way, you don't get any sales. So instead of that, before building all this crazy stuff, all the features, the virtual try-on, everything, we'll try to sell it without having it. and if the people want to buy it, we will develop. But this is a learning that I got 10 years ago, and I think it's worth it. So what's the point? Here is a conversational AI agent. So it's different from crew hidden from the client. You have to take into consideration all the things that we will talk. We did an MVP using N8N. Don't panic. Maybe this looks crazy, but the blocks are very simple. I don't know how many of you knows N8N. Few of you, okay. So for those who doesn't know what is N8N, it's like make.com. Let's say you can build things with blocking codes or without knowing code. But at the end, it's like very simple way to connect things to do other things. It's like algorithms, but a visual way. So this is the MVP where you hear. This is the main brain. Let's say it's connected with a vector store. Then we have this automation for adding things to the vector store. If I put things in a Google Drive folder, yeah, I'm going to show you the stack. This is made with Supabase for the model we are trying with GPT-4 and also with Anthropic. Looks like Anthropic does better job about imitating human interactions. We are connecting this through WhatsApp. So the first MVP will be a WhatsApp message chat with this agent. For that, we are not using a business API because it sucks. So we are using Evolution API, which is a self-host solution to use an API over WhatsApp, if in case you are willing to know. Postgres for the memory, and then we are introducing new stuff that they are getting out this week's buzzwords. So then we want to move, if it works, this MVP to Agno, which is, I don't know how many of you knows coding platforms for building agents, but this is kind of one of the most common ways to build agents with using code, not blocks in N8N. It was called PyData before, they changed the name. There are other ones like Pydantic and so on. So we want to, and you can think, why do you want to move to code if it works in an N8N or something like that? And for us, the thing is that you have more control. For example, like for logs, it's difficult maybe in a no-code platform to see exactly what happened with a conversation or why did the agent call one tool or not another tool. So now there are emerging new ways to measure, scale, and evaluate agents. So, but you have to do it by code. So Agno is one of the most common ones. Pydantic is another one. There are a few. But if you are using Agno or any code platform, you can then integrate these kind of platforms for tracing. So you can see what was the input, why this agent called this tool, how many times did it took. So you are more able to put things together to improve your performance and so on. But I think that will be the next step. For now, we are trying to MVP. If it doesn't work, we didn't spend 2 years building something that nobody uses. So at least it's something that I learned. When you're trying to build conversational agents, you have to take in consideration more things rather than hidden agents. For example, what happens if you need a human in the loop? For example, if you are a consultancy agent and the client sends me a contract and you want to real human evaluate that contract. So what happens in that case? What happens with hallucinations? Because in some cases can be tricky. How can we detect that the user told you 2 days before that I don't want to wear red glasses? So the conversational agent will not recommend to wear that glasses. So you have to keep in mind that you have to store somewhere the relevant information about the user, but not always, because so there are few things that you have to take into account when building conversational agents. Also, word rails are very interesting because there was, I don't know if you knew that Mercedes or other car company tried to put in their website when one agent which makes an offer for a car. And one user tried to hack that prompt, and at the end, the agent proposed selling one car for €1, and Mercedes had to solve it because it has no word rails and nothing. So at the end, it's quite funny. So there are a lot of things that you have to take into account. I know this market or these things we are talking about, they are evolving so fast. So you have to be always connected. Always, it's hard because it takes time. I mean, you have to be in the YouTube, in TikTok, and Twitter, everywhere to know which platform are emerging. But at the end, if you want to build something, there is a space for build, but you have to take into account a lot of things. There are a few things I want to show to you. One is this paper that Google released a few weeks ago, which talks about all of these things I'm talking about. So if you want more details about how to evaluate conversational agents, what are the guidelines for create a good one, this is a good article. It's not that long. It talks about a few stuff that maybe you can take. So in any case you want to download, there is the QR code, or maybe if you don't get now, I can give it to you later. But the thing is that still, it's a good opportunity to create new stuff, to solve real life problems that users can have. You don't need to tell everything is made with an eye without an sense. So first, try to think about the problem, then think about how can you resolve it with one agent or a crew of agents. Usually, as far as I know, it's better to have more agents with more specific tasks, more specialized. So think about that. And then try to think about how can you build an MVP without spending years trying to code, trying to do the perfect thing. Because then at the end, if you don't get the interest from the people, you will have spent a lot of time building something that nobody uses. So I'm trying to get you inspired to everyday life. If you get an opportunity, if you see something and you think, oh, this can be automatized, and you do a little MVP, or you go to a hackathon, and then something kind of works, or you see that maybe there is interest, the first thing, as Mikael says before, try to join a marketing partner, because at the end, marketing is everything here in life. So thank you very much. I'm sorry about that. Thank you very much. I'm letting here all the information about me, in any case you want to follow. And if you have any question, that's the moment. Thank you for hosting me, also for the university and the group. So thank you so much. Okay.
So when it comes to your entrepreneurial journey thus far, what is the most significant non-technical challenge that you have faced? How did you deal with it?
That's a good question. That's a good question, and maybe I can do another 20 minutes talk about what I learned. But for me, as a technical, yes, well, you can.
When it comes to his entrepreneurial journey thus far, what is the most significant non-technical challenge he faced, and how did he deal with it? Thank you.
Yeah. So for me, the most difficult part about building something is people. Okay, so the team. For me, the team, I learned that it's a most important thing about the success of a company. So people usually think about the idea, it's 90% of success. For me, the idea, it's like 10%, because at the end, maybe you start with an idea and it will evolve with the time. So the idea can change, but the vision will be still the same. And the team, you need to get a team with a multidisciplinary background, because maybe you see gaps that I don't see. Maybe you have a great idea because you are a very good product designer, but I tell you, okay, that's impossible to do technically, or the other way around. So maybe I can tell you, okay, there is a new tool in the market who does holograms, and you say, okay, that doesn't make sense in our company. So at the end of the day, having a good team with the same vision, it's like 70% of success. Because, for example, in our case, as you asked, Waynabox didn't start about this idea. We started with another idea, which is the hypothetical idea about buying a non-destination ticket online, go to any airport and see which airplanes are still empty and get into. So we evolved that idea because we saw that nobody wants to fly that way, and we tried to get it into the wheel. But building a strong team that has the same vision and keep them, I think it's the most challenging thing for a non-technical stuff, because for me, I didn't know how to sell, how to do business, how to do marketing, how to do campaigns. So for me, it was a very big learning curve about non-technical stuff that I think is most the challenge for me.
So what were your principles for building that team successfully?
um, you have to, for me, you have to find a partner or partners that shares your main goal for the company, for the idea. So, but for doing that, before you have to take into account that you need to do like uh, a document saying, okay, what's the purpose of my idea? Okay, my purpose of my idea is to make people travel in a cheaper way, in a funnier way, and more adventurous. Okay, if I find someone that wants to do the same, not just find someone, oh, do you do websites? Oh, I'm a master doing websites. But then maybe the idea changes and we do a chatbot and it's not a website anymore. So the idea can change, the product can change. But for me, one main reason is to find someone that shares your vision and you are more kind of you are comfortable with, because at the end you will get married with the people because you will spend hours and hours and days and months of your life. So it's difficult to find, but when you find it, you know it.
Thank you very much for the presentation. The question is regarding marketing and sales. Every day we bombarded by new products, new ideas, new AI companies, new AI agents, and all the rest. And it's pretty, when you are one more in the market, how you are going to market something like that? What
Yeah.
you're thinking up to right now? How it has evolved?
Yeah, good question. We always get, as you said, bombarded by a lot of ads about new AI to solve thing, new AI to solve thing. For me, it's like hitting in the pain point of the customer without explaining how we do it. I mean, for example, we are trying also with another with another mate to create a chatbot for restaurants, okay, to help them with the menu, how to improve sales, how to do promotions on special days. So we are not trying to sell them like, okay, this is our new AI that can help you in your restaurant day by day. No, instead, we are explaining, okay, why do you want, no, we say more like, do you want to sell more for during those hours that your restaurant doesn't sell? Click here and I will tell you more. So in the first impact, we don't say we have a very good chatbot AI for your restaurant. We try to aim to the pain point of the client. So when you get that attention, and then we explain how we do it. So for me, that maybe can be one of the ways not to fall into the other marketing strategies that everybody's using, like, okay, here's the new AI platform for solving your day-by-day productivity, and you have already 1,000 of them. So if you don't tell me what's your differentiation or why I have to choose you, I'm gonna skip the ad and that's it. So for me, you have to take into account which is the pain point for your client and try to get them into by that way. But I'm not marketing stuff, so I will tell you in a few months if it works. If it don't, forget everything I said.
You said sell it before it is made.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like landing pages for investors, for instance, like who's interested in a certain product or something like that. But how do you do it with an app? Like,
what about question? Maybe we can be here for another 20 minutes. I like a lot of smoke tests, which is selling before having nothing. Usually, what I learned and what I do in my side projects, I tried this with 5 times and only 2 worked. It's okay. I have an idea. I try to figure out if it's possible to do with an MVP, because maybe I have a crazy idea and then I sell it. I see people is interested, but it is impossible to do. So first of all, I try to do an MVP using an A, make whatever. And when I see that it's maybe possible in the future, but maybe I will take 6 months, 1 year to build, I create a website explaining what will be the product with all the features I want, the 100% of the product, like if it was already done. And then all the call to actions, like, okay, start now, or I'm interested, brings to a pop-up or to a form saying, okay, we are busy right now. our servers are 100% full, but put your email here and I will tell you something when we are back. So that way, maybe you can spend a few bucks bringing people to the landing, and you can measure how many people scrolls and watch everything, how many people does click on the CTS, and how many emails you get. So that's maybe a good approach about building something without spending years and then.
So how do they get there? I mean, the Google search.
I put ads and that's it. I pay for ads and bring people. Maybe you spend 50, 100 euros and you validate or you go to trash your idea. But 100 euros is more cheaper than spending 6 months developing something that then maybe nobody wants to use. So that's one way, but there are a few.
Do you have a price in the call to action button?
You can do, what I usually do is A/B testings. So I have like 2 or 3 landing pages, or I split the campaign to few landings with different prices or different tags, and I see which one works better. But yeah, you have to put the price because otherwise maybe the people is interested, but then when you say that it costs 100 euros a month, then they don't want to pay that much. So it's also, product discovery is also a thing that is difficult to know.
Can you measure that by them saying I'm interested?
You can measure in different ways. One, it's how many clicks of all the people you received, or how many scroll pages did you, or how many people goes to the pricing page. It's another world that is amazing, but you have to learn a lot about that. More questions? Thank you very much.